Redrick regularly meets with mothers to help them prioritize their busy lives.
So, one of the things that I found is that as a mom, we're no longer multitasking, we're megatasking. Okay? And isn't that true?
Hey, Marcy. Ruby's in the house. Hey, guys. You're going to love this scope. It's going to be quick. I'm thinking about 20 minutes tonight. Invite your friends.
Whatever we do for ourselves is what we are
Hey,
doing
West
to
Coast.
our
Hey, Creative
family.
T. Hi, Ruby. Patrice, I thought you were sleeping. I missed you.
I'm always ready to work out.
You're having
So
a
I
great
would bring
time in
with me
South
my
Africa.
jump rope, as well as my resistance bands. Easy way to get your workout in any day.
You guys are going to love
I love
this
the
show.
toolkit, Mia. How about dads? Can dads have one too?
Absolutely.
A lady with
Dads
words.
create
I
the
love
best
it.
toolkits. The
Are you
deal
done?
is
Are you
just
leaving?
be prepared for wherever
Yeah,
you're
I'm
going to be
up
that
late.
day with your
We've got a
family
little
to
flooding
maximize
situation.
the day. If you have ever said there are not enough hours
We need
in a
an
day,
art.
you're going to love
I
my
need you
next
tonight. Are
strategy
you
called blending.
replaying?
Blending is when you are doing something
Oh,
for your
you have to
children.
tell me what you
looking for
need. Tell me what
opportunities
you
to do
need.
something
Hey, Carol,
for
good to see ya.
yourself. You guys, tell me, how are you already blending in your
We're
life?
going to be
How are
talking
you
tonight about how to
taking
get out of
care
your own
yourself
way,
while you're
right?
taking care of your children.
I have the best girlfriend who's a
It's
trainer
a no
who
filter
created a way in
scope.
which we literally work out in her garage while our kids
Hey,
play
darling.
outside.
Good to
So
talk to
we're
you,
getting
Carol.
me time, we're getting mommy time, and our kids are just having a good time.
We've had over 283 self-care groups, and
I
think the power
Yes,
of the
Creative
groups
T.
has been
Tell me
that
your name,
moms
okay?
have no judgment,
Yeah.
just
Good to see you.
camaraderie. You have an opportunity to connect with other women in your demographics of motherhood. And I firmly believe that moms aren't necessarily looking to balance their work and their life. I think what we want more of is joy. Creating opportunities to experience joy on a daily
Tatiana, that's
basis
right.
in your
It's a
life
beautiful name.
is the goal. The next time you and your family need a
We're going to
getaway,
get started,
try
guys, in about a minute and a
staycation.
half.
What I mean by that
Invite your
is
friends on Periscope
explore
that you
in your
think can
hometown.
benefit.
Play
It is-
a tourist.
it's
This
gonna be
might
a tough scope, but
exactly
it's
what
gonna
your
be about
family
20
needs
minutes.
to refuel and reconnect, even in the middle of your busy lives. Remember, when mama's happy, everyone else is happy.
Okay.
When most people
Bye,
think of dating,
Tatiana.
they think of being
Rest
single,
fast.
going out on the town. But when you're married with
Sleep
kids,
well.
that's when the real dating fun should begin.
It sure is.
Thank
Well, our
you.
mom strategist explains why and shares her rules of family dating.
This is something you've probably not thought about, but it's worked really great for me, and it is dating your family. And because you have 6 children, one of the things that works terrific is to be able to date at home. And what I get a lot of my clients to do is to create a dating box. And in that box, you and your husband can put things that you want to enjoy together. Because sometimes we have opportunities to date our partners, but we don't have a whole lot of time. It might be you have 90 minutes, but by the time he has to go and get the movie or get a meal, the time that you would have spent together is gone.
Thank you, Mia. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Wow. Well, welcome the author of Time for Mommy, 365 Daily Strategies for Mother's Self-Care, Mia Redrick. Mia, thank you so much. Stand up, please. Pleasure. I really feel for this family.
You did help them with some tips, but what can we all take away from this?
Well, Dear Time is such a simple way to build quality in your family time and to make self-care a reality every single day. It's simple.
So drop everything and read.
When mama's happy, everybody else is happy. That's what I think,
See
right?
mom and dad having some downtime, and it becomes part of the family culture, self-care.
So what about the fact that she has no time to herself? She sits in her
We're
car
gonna
and
get
listens to
started
the radio
shortly,
and lies
guys.
to her husband about where she is, just so she can have a moment to breathe.
So what we talked about was them giving one another permission without guilt and supporting that time and understanding you need that when you have 2 young children. They're a couple that wants to be together. They don't want to be apart. And so you can see that when they started to date, just to dance together, they reconnected immediately.
I saw you covering your ears when that was happening. Why?
Here we go. 10 seconds.
Yes, it is. Because I love my husband, and we all forget why we got married.
All right. Okay. Camera. Okay. I've been listening to you, and you have truly inspired me and my boyfriend, William. Thank you. You're welcome. You've been catching the past scopes on katch.me. katch.me. There are about 150 there, guys. There's some really good ones, too. I am Mia Redrick. Look at this. I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist, and I support mostly moms with life and business success. You can always check me out at miaredrick.com. At miaredrick.com. Now, it is late. We've got water in the basement. It's been raining today. Hey, Pittsburgh. I went to college in Pittsburgh. I went to Chatham College, which is now co-ed. Right, yes, we appreciate you. We will be contacting you soon for your services. Awesome. I'll be waiting for that call. Yeah, I am up late tonight. Yeah, we have water in the basement because it's been raining cats, dogs, and frogs in Maryland today. So everybody's up. Everyone's up. Everyone's up. All right. I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist, and I support mostly moms of life and business success. You can always check me out at miaredrick.com, which I just said a minute ago. Yeah. And, you can check out my past scopes at katch.me, katch.me, and just search Mia_Redrick. There are over 150 scopes, quality scopes to support you with your life and your business. Now, I'm always committed to giving you guys great and amazing content because I want you to come back. I want you to come back, okay? And I want you to bring your friends, all right? So today what we're going to be talking about is how to get out of your own way. Anybody want to know how to get out of your own way, right? Like we all do it. There are things we do. We get in our own way. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today. If you don't know my story, let me just tell you quickly. I've been in business for the last 13 years as a coach, mentoring moms mostly. I also own a commercial laundry business, and I invest in real estate alongside my husband. So we both have been full-time entrepreneurs for over 10 years, all right? And so whether we're talking about a brick and mortar business, know a lot about that, or if you're talking about a business like real estate, I know a lot about it, and I built a coaching practice from scratch, just being myself. And I love to share this with you because what's really cool and groovy about my coaching business is that I built that business primarily from the comfort of my home. Like in this office right here is where I've built my business. And what's cool is that a lot of times when people are building their businesses, particularly this kind of business in the expert space, they're running from one event to the next event to the next event in order to get clients. But I never did that to grow my business. And that's what I teach my clients how to do, how to build your business in a passive way that's long lasting. And that's what I'm totally into. I've worked with over 400 clients. I've supported over 112 of my clients as authors. Half of them are #1 Amazon bestsellers. But I've literally supported thousands of clients with my coaching programs, virtually supporting them throughout the world. Literally, I have clients anywhere you can think of that I've had the opportunity to work with. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I have an event planning business, but I'm struggling to get things started, all right? So you're going to love my scopes, Zoe. You're going to love my scopes because what I like you to understand is that you are content and that, once you create systems and you know how to package, price, and position your products and services, you can create profit. And a lot of us have never thought of it that way, but that's what I know how to do, is how to take what you know and monetize it. See, when I got started in my business 13 years ago, I was told that if I combined my background as a corporate trainer and my love of motherhood into a business, that no one would ever pay me to do that. And the advice that I got was wrong. And I always share that on all of my scopes because I know that there are those of you out here who have great ideas, like amazing ideas, but you know what? People might be saying, how are you going to do that? And you can't answer them, so you're questioning whether or not what you're thinking of is a good idea. And I'm telling you, that was me, all right? That was me. And I get to go to work as myself, and I think it's an honor and a privilege. Now, I have 3 children. I have I have a son in high school, daughter in middle school, and a son in elementary school. My husband is about to, hey, Alyssa, my husband is about to celebrate his 2-year anniversary for his kidney. He got a kidney transplant 2 years ago. And so one of the blessings for us has been having the opportunity to have a business and to be able to focus on what was most important from the very beginning. And I know that will bless so many of you guys out there who maybe you want to own a business because maybe you want to pay for private school for your kids, or maybe you've got a health challenge or medical expenses and you need extra income for that, or maybe you want to travel the world. I don't know why, but I do know that owning a business can create options for you, or maybe you just want to control your time. All right, so I'm going to get started. Thank you, Carol, for that. On my scopes, typically they're content rich, so people like to listen, right? but I want you to write, and then tap, like write your notes, and then tap the screen. The hearts are feedback. Since I can't hear you, I can heart hear you, all right? And it gives me feedback that what I'm saying you completely resonate with, and I don't feel like I'm talking to myself. I don't want to talk to myself. Like, okay, all right, deal? All right, so we're going to write. We're going to tap the screens. Now, on Periscope, every 500 hearts, you actually have to leave the scope and come back in order for your hearts to count, just so you know that. If you're ready today to talk about how to get out of your own way, say, I'm ready, Mia. I am ready, and I'll get started, all right? Anybody ready to talk about, like, how are you getting in your own way? Anybody want to know? Yeah, Carol's ready, okay? Anyone else want to know, like, how are you getting in your own way? I mean, we all do it. I do it. I do it frequently. You're ready, okay? I know you're ready. Okay, you're ready. Okay, Ruby, you're ready. All right, we got a couple people ready, so I'm going to get started. One of the first ways that we get in our own way is that we don't have systems for accountability. And I want to talk about what that looks like, okay? So if you don't have a system for accountability, what it means is that sometimes there are things that you really want to do in your life, and you can do in your life and with your life, but nobody knows it. You know this. You know I'm telling you the truth, right? It might even be something as simple as like you want to go to the gym, but nobody knows that you want to go to the gym, and you don't go day in and day out and day in and day out, but nobody knows. It's like your secret with you, right? It might be that in your business there are things that you need to do, and nobody knows it. No one knows it. And you're not doing the thing. You're not motivating yourself to do it, and you're getting in your own way because you don't have a system for accountability for yourself. Therefore, you can hide from yourself. You guys know I'm telling the truth, right? So because you don't have a system for accountability, you are hiding from the things that you need to do. And nobody knows it, so nobody can hold you accountable. But what I want you to do is to get out of your own way is you can't tell everyone or trust everyone. Not everyone's in a position to advise you, and not everyone's in a position to be your accountability partner. But what I do want you to do is to make sure that at your ambition and above, that you are connecting with people who are like-minded, who can hold you accountable to the things that you can do and you want to do. Really important in terms of getting results in your life and in your business. And if you've never thought about that before, I want you to really think about that, because so often what has us stuck, what has us in our own way, is that we have no accountability at all. You guys know what I'm talking about. And right now we're getting ready to go hit March, right? And so I know that from March through December, you got plenty of time to knock your dreams out of the park, but you're going to need to have some accountability this year in order for you to do it. And if you don't, promise me you'll do it, okay? Number 2 is you need to stop thinking and speaking negatively. Yeah, like thinking negatively and speaking negatively. That means what you say and what you think negative. And that means sometimes it might be about the outcome. It might be about people. It might be around gossip. So the things, how to get out of your own way is, I meet sometimes people who are brilliant and they're amazing people, but they're negative people, right? They're catty people. They're small-minded people. I struggle with this every day, right? And so because their thoughts are not elevated, they spend a lot of time or wasting time, right, on things that really don't matter, that don't add fuel or make you feel good or make you feel excited about your life. The hard part is heavy thoughts sometimes really weigh you down. So what I try to do is, if I'm dealing with people who are heavy that way, really like in a negative way, or who are Debbie Downers, I have systems around them. Like I might not call you until like 2 o'clock when I'm done, doing my most productive hours in my business or things that I want to do, because I don't want to be brought down at my peak times for myself. You got to come up with systems if you've got a lot of this in your life. We all have it. Sometimes it's people that you love, like it could be somebody you're living with, it could be a parent, it could be a friend, it could be a neighbor, I don't know, it could be your coworkers. But the fact of the matter is, if you're dealing with people who are negative, or they speak negatively, or they are negative in terms of always saying something to you that makes you think about the impossibility of life, you got to create systems around those people. And if that person is you, I recommend that you start a reading habit to start to understand what you are saying when you talk to yourself. You guys know that's one of my favorite books by Shed Helmstetter, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. It's a great and amazing book. You need to read it because self-talk is really, really powerful, and it's difficult to become successful without it. You got to distance yourself from negativity. It weighs you down, and it's hard to be creative with people who are being negative. And I go there, right? It's like, so in my life, I go there in terms of, my space, my circle, but even in my client base, like, you know what? I am okay with not working with people who aren't nice, who are manipulators and things like that. Hey, Pat, good to see you. Number 3 is stop manipulating relationships to advance your agenda. So how to get out of your own way. Don't manipulate relationships to advance your own agenda. Now, I'm going to tell you what it looks like. You guys have seen it. I'm sure people have done this to you, or maybe you're doing this to others. It means that you manipulate people. You never meet people who kind of cozy up to you, or they come to take, or they come to twist things so that they can get the most out of something, but they only come to take. All right. The challenge is you get in your own way when you're like that. You may get what you want on the short term, but the way you're in your own way is that people won't deal with you. Like, once people come to know who you are and how you operate, they will not want to deal with you long term. And so you are in your own way because what you're doing is burning bridges. All right. And I've seen people do this all the time. We all have experienced coworkers who will step on your neck, right, to let their management know that they did something that, that you did so you don't get credit. Or sometimes they'll cut off long-term relationships. Absolutely, Pat. Or they will take a project that you both worked on, and they'll change it in such a way so that they look better and you look like you did not as much. You know what? Long term, you get in your own way when you do things like that. And it doesn't mean that you won't have success doing it. It just means that long term, you burn bridges once again, and people won't want to deal with you. And you don't want to do that, right? Been there, done that, right? Got the postcard on that. It could also look like, I had someone that came into one of my coaching programs, and they came in the program, and the whole goal was to see what I was doing, because in some way they wanted to work with a bunch of people so they could see what everybody was doing, so that, they could advance their own agenda, for their own business. Well, I mean, you can do that, but at the end of the day, you burn relationships. And I'm just saying that I always like to call things out as they are, because I know in sharing my stories, these are the exact same things that you guys are dealing with, and people are like that. And at the end of the day, you got to get, when you do that, you get in your own way, right? You get in your own way. Okay. The next thing is stop undervaluing what you are capable of. This is another thing that I see all the time with clients, or sometimes people who are working with their clients, they undervalue their products, their services, their time, their energy, what they really are capable of. Sometimes I'll see this also with my clients who are working with brands or corporations, that they'll be thinking, oh my goodness, they're so big and I'm so small. And because of it, they don't price properly or value fully the contract or what they're offering the client, right? So you need to stop undervaluing what you're capable of. What you got to understand, particularly if you're dealing with a brand, or if you're consulting with an agency or anything like that, the only reason that you are working with them is because of your expertise. I deal with this all the time with the event planning business, right? And so what I have learned over the years is that the moment that you understand what you're worth, everybody else will also. You don't ever have to say yes to what doesn't serve you. You don't ever have to do business, in a way that isn't true to you, that doesn't fully value who you are. And a lot of us forget that. Like, we think that we should say yes to everything that comes our way. And I believe that if you say yes to the things that you don't want to do, like that totally undervalue you, you don't have time to work with the people that you can work with, because you're already busy. You're already scheduled. You're already booked for the thing that won't pay you. All right. So just let it go. And get out of your own way by thinking that the things that really support you won't come your way. How do I make this happen when dealing with family and friends? If family and friends can't pay your price, then they can't be your clients. They don't know what your schedule is. They don't know how booked you are. So, and at the end of the day, if you say, oh man, I wish I could, but I have another project on that day, you have another project. That's it. All right. So, I work with family and friends all the time. And at the end of the day, they pay me what I'm worth. I mean, I'm giving them great advice and expertise. And no one's going to expect you to give them great and amazing services for free, right? Like, come on, give me a break. All right. Next is stop saying no to things that you should, yes, Pat. Stop saying no to things that you should say yes to. So that's a way that we get in our own way is stop saying no to the things you need to say yes to. Stop saying no. Okay? And I'm going to tell you why that happens. It happens sometimes because we are afraid. Sometimes when we're afraid of something that's new or something that's different, or you're not sure if you're ready or not, right? Fear gets in the way and we start saying no to things that we need to say yes to. And what I want you to understand, actually, I just saw a TED Talk on this, and it was Shonda Rhimes, and she called it, I think it was her year of yes, of saying yes. And she decided that she was going to have a year where she said yes. And she really embraced possibility in her life. And that she did an incredible TED Talk on that. You guys need to search that. It was really, really, really good. I guess it's about maybe like 30 minutes or so. But you need to stop saying no to the things that you need to say yes to. What happens is sometimes we do things in reverse. We say yes to the things we need to say no to, and we say no to the things that we need to say yes to. All right? And that might mean working with a higher level client. You know what I mean? That might mean picking up the phone and calling some of the people that make your knees shake. But what you need to start practicing is saying yes to the things that you really want. And I always tell my kids this, and I tell everyone this. I make myself speak every time I attend Toastmasters. I love Toastmasters. It is great, right? Let me just say that I tell my kids all the time that whenever you're creating a list of what you need to do, right? The key is, or what you want, only put things on your list that you really want. So that if you get those things, you're in a great place. Like you want everything on your list. I meet people all the time that they say yes to, they put things on their list they don't really want. I saw recently said that to be a decorator wedding I've never done before. I don't know what that means. So write it again. I'm sorry I missed it. But they say yes to things that they put things on their list and they say yes to that they don't really want. You know what I mean? Like when you choose things that you believe you can have, so you put them on your list, but you never really wanted them to begin with. And then when you get them, you're unhappy with having them, but you put them on your list as considerations. Don't do that. Only put things on your list that you really want. And therefore, wherever you land, you're going to be happy with where you land, okay? So start saying yes to the things. Start saying yes to the things that you really deserve, the things that you really want, okay? And not just what you believe you can have, all right? And that's how we get in our own way. Don't forget to write, tap, 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 write, and tap, 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 write. I know it's late, guys, but like, write, and tap, tap, tap. I don't know, right? Okay, all right. Okay, next is stop trying to mentor yourself. I meet a lot of people that do that. They're coaching themselves. And I'm just going to say, if you're like me, I can't see me, okay? I don't see how I show up. I don't know what I don't do well or what I could do more. I just don't have that perspective in being able to see myself like, you know what I mean, from the outside in. And to me, that's the benefit of having a coach or a mentor or someone that you're working with, that you're able to trust them and share whatever it is that you want to get done. And they're able to see you and support you around your goals. And of course, they have to have the expertise that you need, but also you can't mentor yourself. So many of us are trying to mentor ourselves. And you know what? I had one client, I'll never forget this. It took him 6 years to write his book. He said 6 years. He came to me, the book still wasn't written. 6 years. Why? He was like, he thought he could do it. And you know, the challenge was that, it took him 6 years. He wasn't done, all right? Because he didn't know how to do it in a way that was efficient. He didn't know best practices. He didn't know all the resources that were available. That's my sweet spot. I could help him in 90 days, 120 days, knock out a book, any book, right? And that's what we did. But the fact of the matter is, because he was trying to mentor himself, it took him 6 years. And you have to ask yourself, what is taking you a long time because you are trying to teach yourself how to do it? You know what I mean? It's sort of like, what do they say? Penny wise and a dollar foolish, right? Because you're like leaving money on the table because you are not willing to invest in yourself, and you are your number one asset. See, the hearts went away, but it's true. And if you mentor yourself, it's just not, it doesn't work, right? It doesn't work. All right. You need to have other people who have expertise who can support you. I've had 19 coaches, teachers, trainers, mentors over the years to support me in many different areas. Anything from Toastmasters to one-to-one coaching to group coaching, right? To sales coaching, to speaking coaches, to media training, tons. Okay. And at the end of the day, why? Because I wasn't good at those things. I've accomplished what I did even know what was possible with coaching from Mia. Aren't you sweet? You're the best. But you're amazing, and you have an amazing story that the world needs to hear, and they're hearing it, right? With a variety of levels of coaching, what type of coach would spend quality too? With a variety of levels of coaching, what type of coach would actually know their client? Okay. I think I know what you're asking me. How do you find the right coach for yourself? I think that when you're looking for coaches, there are lots of different types of coaches. And what I found for myself over the years, I change, like in terms of what I need from a coach, right? So sometimes I have one coach that I work with multiple times over a decade, okay? That's my primary coach. She knows who I am. She knows how I operate. She knows what my excuses are like, and it just will take me too long to bring anybody else up to speed, all right? So I have one coach that is sort of my insight coach from the very beginning. I've worked with her, and I've worked with her throughout the years, okay? Thank you so much. I appreciate you too. All right. But then I have coaches that help me in specialized ways. So like if I want to learn to outsource, I've hired people to help me outsource, or sales training. I've hired sales training or sales coaches, right? Or when I want to get speaking gigs, I hired someone to show me how to do that. Why? Because I like to work with people who are niche-based, who help me to get a better perspective on how I can show up in those ways. However, I have worked with some coaches who do all of those things. Like my primary coach, she does all of those things as well. Okay. But when I want additional training, I'll hire someone else that will help me to get a higher result and show up differently. Now, when I'm looking for a coach, everybody's different on this. A lot of different kind of coaching programs. They're group coaching programs, which I've been in some amazing group coaching programs that have really supported me, and not only supported me, but I've had the opportunity to connect with other people who were like me that I wouldn't have met otherwise. I've had the opportunity equally to learn from them and their businesses, and that's elevated how I show up in my own business. I've also done coaching programs that have been individual coaching programs where I've actually just been on the phone, just me and my coach, from anywhere from 10 minutes to 1 hour. What qualities to seek in a primary coach? I think for me, I wanted someone that I'm not really like the Skype person. You guys know that I don't really like, I like to use Periscope, but I'm not really like the text, Skype. I don't really want to do all of that. So what I primarily liked for myself was to make sure that my coach could call me on the phone. I could call my coach on the phone. And that I had set calls, particularly when I first got started. That was really important for me because I didn't even really know how coaching worked. Since that time, I've done a number of group coaching programs, which would have worked great for me when I first got started as well. I just didn't know that it would work, right? I thought that I just needed to work with a coach one-to-one. But truthfully, it just depends on you. Some people prefer, Pat, also to do like self-study programs. Self-study programs can be amazing if you're a driven person and you just don't want to deal with a whole lot of people. You just want the information. I do that too. And you just want to be able, and you're a person that executes. If you're not a person that executes, Don't do a self-study program because you've got to deliver, right? So just having the information isn't going to do it, right? Just reading it in a book or going to the online course, you've got to be a person that implements the things that you know, all right? So you got to know those things about yourself. I think also when you're thinking about a coach, you want to think about accessibility. I need personal interaction, right? You want to think about accessibility as well. So sometimes you can work with a high-level coach, and they're busy. They don't do a whole lot of one-to-one calls, and so they might schedule you. You might be booking your call for 3 months from now or 6 months from now. In that way. For me, I'm just never really been that person. Whenever I book VIP days or one-to-ones with my coaches, I'm not really the 6 months girl. I actually have something I want to work on in this moment. And that's how I like to book my coaches, that I can talk to them around a certain subject matter to support me with creating growth. But we're all different. Sometimes you might have something longer term that you're going to get to. Maybe it's marketing, maybe it's your third quarter and you want to work with someone right before you do that. All right. The other thing that I will say is group coaching is really great too, because the price points are lower, because it's, you're in a group, and a lot of group coaching programs do also offer options where you do have open office hours where you can speak with your coach as well. So I find that those can be really great, and it's not really difficult to get your questions answered in most of those programs if you show up early, because people don't show up early. I'm telling you, the extra mile, guys, is underrated. People don't show up early anymore. People show up late for the things that they invest in. Hear me on that, right? They show up late for the things that they pay that they pay money for, okay, that they sign checks for, okay? So if you ever want to have access to your coach in any group program, just show up early. Show up 5 minutes early, and I'm telling you, you're always going to get more. Stay late, you're always going to get more, okay? That's a tip. How to get out of your own way. Quit your emotional roller coaster. All right. And so what I mean by that is quit your emotional roller coaster. You know how you meet people? 1 minute they're excited. Next minute they're not excited. 1 minute they're up. The next minute they're down. 1 minute they're going to go hard in their business. Next minute they can't remember what they're going to do. If that's you, quit the emotional roller coaster. That gets in your way. I think that emotional stability, it just allows you to function in a way that's predictable. I'm not really having highs and lows. Pretty much every day is pretty much the same kind of day. Now, I'm generating the same kind of energy because I'm always sending out ships in my business to create excitement in my business. But I'm not having today I'm going to go hard and then tomorrow I'm doing nothing. No, every day I'm going to do consistently, 3 ships I'm going to send out in my business every day. It gets me psyched, it gets me stoked, and gets me fired up. But I'm not really trying to climb any mountains today and then tomorrow sleep in, all right? I'm just consistency, and persistency wins the race every day, all day long. And I meet so many people that are on this emotional roller coaster. They've got big plans about what they want to do today, and then tomorrow when it's time to implement and do it, you get nothing. Nothing. They can't remember what they want to do. So just keep that in mind. And how to get out of your own way, a strategy with a pace. Stability breeds consistency. I like that a lot. Absolutely. Next is how to get out of your own way. Stop chasing people for approval, or stop chasing money. Stop chasing, okay? Whatever you chase runs from you. I meet people all the time. They're chasing a mother dear media, okay? They're chasing people for approval, all right? They're chasing people for approval. And if you find that this is you, understand that validation is for parking lots. That's it. All right. It's not for your dreams. You don't need to be validated by anyone in order for you to do the things that you need to do. All right. And a lot of times we allow insecurity to drive us, and what we have to do. Yeah. You know them, right? So stop chasing people. I see it a lot of times in the expert space because, you have people, you see someone on stage at a live event, or maybe you'll see someone that on television, and as a result of that, you get like 1 million new best friends. You know what I'm talking about? And people start chasing people, and it's very inauthentic to do that. And it comes across that way. You don't have to chase people. Just be yourself. Be yourself, and be yourself, and be authentic in building your relationships, because those are long lasting. And the same is true as it relates to money. All right. Validation is for parking lots. I'm going to sleep with this in my thoughts, okay? Next is stop chasing money, right? I meet people like this. Like, they'll say to me, Mia, I want to work with you. I want to, they have a business that's not making any money. And they'll tell me something like, in the next 60 days, I need to turn a profit. And I'm like, well, wait, you've been in business for 2 years. So you're telling me in the next 60 days, you need to turn a profit in the next 60 days. The reason you're not making money is your focus is wrong. You need to focus on serving, not focus on chasing dollars, all right? Focus on your system. Focus on solving a problem, right, for your clients and for your demographic. You got to have patience. And more importantly, what I always think about, I never really think about selling. I don't really think about selling, okay, with my clients. I think about serving. Like, if I come here on Periscope, literally, I come on Periscope every day. I come on Periscope, and then I'll get a message in my inbox on Facebook, or somebody will send me a message in my e-box, my email, saying, hey, I want to work with you. Like, you saw somebody today just said, hey, I want to work with you. I'm looking to work with you. Or I just saw this clip. I'm not selling. I'm not chasing. I'm just being myself, and I'm serving. All right. And so when you put service ahead of everything, and you help people, thank goodness you always serve as well, right? When you put service ahead of everything, then you're not going to have any issues generating income in your business. That's the reality of it, okay? And it's because your priorities are clear and they're right. And people can feel that. You guys have gone to a store. Like, think about when you've gone to get a car. And you had like that greasy kind of sales guy that was trying to sell you, and you didn't feel that they really cared about you, that they were really hearing you, that they cared about your budget, that they wanted you to be safe, that they wanted you to get the best deal, the best car. It doesn't feel good, right? So what I'm telling you is that don't chase people. Right? You know what it feels like when you walk into a furniture store and you can see that somebody spotted you, right, in that furniture store, and they're chasing you around the store because they want your sale, right? All about the quota. You know what that feels like, so don't do that. All right? What I'm telling you, if you want to get out of your own way, be of service, be of value to people, and really want and care about their success and their results. It hurts your credibility. People know that it's inauthentic, and at the end of the day, they don't want to deal with you, right? Because it's cheesy. And so think about that. So if you want to get out of your own way, these are some really simple things. Number one, create a system for accountability. Stop hiding from your gifts. Do the thing that you need to do. And here's the thing. You can do it. But it can't be a secret. The big things that you want to do, don't make them secrets, okay? Number two, stop thinking and speaking negatively. That means, stop it. All right? Quit that. What you're saying when you talk to yourself, okay, get rid of that, all right, and replace it with some affirmative thoughts. Start saying good things. I always say that if what you're saying out your mouth, you can't back it up with that's exactly what I want, then don't say it. If you say something like, I'm fat, that's exactly what I want. No. Change it, right? I'm dumb, right? That's exactly what I want. If you can't back it up with that's exactly what I want, you probably shouldn't say that. Hey there, good to see you, VC Law. Okay, next, number 3 is stop manipulating relationships to advance your agenda. See, people see you. Hey there, people see you. They see you, all right? And what you got to understand is that that's not cool, okay? It's not cool to show up like that. It's the opposite of showing up powerfully, right? It's not, okay? That's misuse of power. And long term, you get called out for that kind of stuff. Number 4, I forgot to go out after 500 hearts, over 1,600 hearts. Oh, my goodness. Stop manipulating relationships to advance your agenda. Absolutely. Next is stop undervaluing what you are capable of. I'm going to tell you, you can do more than you can imagine. And most of us, we don't give ourselves credit. If you think about how brilliant and amazing you really are, what you're doing every single day, what people need to know what you're doing, how you show up at work and how you do what you do. There are people who need to know your system on how you got there, how you do that, how they can do what you're doing. And most of us take for granted the things that we naturally know how to do. We undervalue it. And as a result of it, you know, we're struggling trying to figure out what our purpose is and who we can serve. Because why? Because we undervalue who we really are. I always think about, you know, remember in Lion King when Simba's dad, James Earl, I think it was James Earl Jones that said in that deep voice, he was like, Simba, remember who you are? Sometimes you got to remember who you are, okay? Sometimes you got to be like, who am I? Okay. That's right. I'm a writer. Okay, I'm a good writer. Okay, that's right. I'm a great communicator. Sometimes you got to take it back. You got to make it simple. You got to make it plain for yourself. But when you don't know who you really are, guess what happens? You undervalue your gifts and you take them for granted. You leave them on the table. Hey, darling, good to see you. Fist bump. Boom. Today we're talking about how to get out of your own way. And I'm doing the recap, so you'll have to catch the replay. It was pretty good. I'm pretty low key because it's late and we got a flood in the basement. Well, actually, it's like drying out now, but basement's flooding a little bit. All right. And next is stop saying no to the things that you need to say yes to. All right. So that means if we're going to swing big as a community, swing big. Do the dang thing. Take the leap. Okay. And you got to stop saying no to the things that scare you. And you know I'm talking to you, okay? It's late, but you know I'm talking with you, right? Like, I need to stop saying no. You know, waiting for that perfect time, you know, not making the call because they might not answer. Do it anyway, all right? Do it afraid, do it scared. Just do it. And don't worry about what's going to happen on the other side. Yeah, yes, you are, right? Don't worry what's going to happen on the other side. All you can be responsible for is taking the action. And everything other than that, it is out of your control. That's what I always say. Look, I did my part. My part was I made the call. All right? Are you guys making the calls? Are you making the calls, right? You doing what you need to do to up-level your game, right? To see your dreams happen. Are you doing what you need to do? All right, next is stop trying to mentor yourself, right? That means like you're brilliant. This is true. You are amazing, all right? But you might not be your best teacher, okay? Can we just say that? You might not be. And I'm not saying that to say, hey, you need to work with me. I'm not saying that. I think work with me is great if it's a fit. However, you need to be working with someone, all right? And if your goal this year is to, hey, Mrs. Brandy Ray, if your goal this year is to create different results in your business and in your life, who are you working with? Let's be real about that, okay? You need to be working with someone. You can't see yourself, all right? Sometimes you can't see your weaknesses, and sometimes you can't see your strengths. I'll give you a great example. I'll never forget this. So this is so crazy. I told you guys this story before. My coach, Terry Levine, told me that I should videotape myself with my children. This is like maybe 11 years ago. And I could not for the life of me figure out why. Why? Why would I videotape myself with my children? Well, why? Who would want to see that? Are you kidding? Okay. And she was like, you have really unique systems and formulas, the way that you explain. I was like, but who? Why would I do that? And see, a lot of times we take for granted the things that we do naturally that are brilliant. Had I not been working with a coach that could see and hear how I was showing up and give me some insight, and I'll never forget it, I decided that I wouldn't videotape it, that I would record myself. And I recorded myself with the kids, and I was like, that's pretty cool. I never heard myself in that way. We don't see ourselves. So sometimes when you don't see yourself, you don't even know how brilliant you really are. And as a result of that, you know what I mean? You're like, there's nothing. I don't even know what I can do. I'm telling you, coaching provides professional insight from a like-minded person. And they give you insight and accountability around a result that you say you want. That's what I love about coaching, is that I'm telling my coach, like if I say to my coach, hey, you know, my goal this year is to make $500,000, or my goal this year is to make $1 million, then my coach is taking a stand with me on what I need to be doing to get to that goal, right? Based on what I said I wanted. So who are you in community with that's taking a stand for you to get done the things you need to get done? Samira, the bounce back strategist, is in the house, guys. You guys need to follow her. She's incredible. I love her. I love her. How's the book coming along, Samira? How's the book? Yes, I never thought about coaching until I met you. Pat, you're wonderful. Thank you so much. So let me just say that to me, that's like, I love you back. I love you back. Were you on the call tonight? I think you sent me a message. I think so. So next is quit your emotional roller coaster. The thing for newbie is finding the right coach that fits you. Where do you start? It's great. 2 weeks. Awesome. Boom. Okay. I think if you're new, you need to think about what kind of coach do you need, right? Like, what are you looking for? Now, for me, I like to always make sure I'm working with someone that can help me with my life and business. Quit the emotional roller coaster. Yes, I was. It was awesome. Thanks. You're welcome. So let me just say that I like to work with someone that considers my life and my business. Now, the reason that that's important to me is because I get to work with so many entrepreneurs that sometimes they've had great success in their business monetarily, like they make a lot of money, but they're working like a Hebrew slave. And the fact of the matter is they don't know what lifestyle looks like. They built a business that they're trying to get out of. All right. So I believe that your life informs your business. And if I were choosing a coach, I would want to make sure that that coach, right, every 500 hearts, guys, you got to leave out of the scope and come back in order for your hearts to count. If I were choosing a coach, one of the things that would be important to me personally is making sure that the coach cared about how I was going to be living. So this is what I believe is true. Freedom to me is like amazing, right? And it's something that I value tremendously, like being a full-time entrepreneur, owning my time, owning my days, being able to live the way that I want to. Being able to date my husband in the middle of the day, pick my kids up, do whatever I want to do in the middle. That to me, why I love being an entrepreneur. I love that I can build my business, do my business from anywhere in the world, right? Like literally anywhere in the world. So all I need is a laptop, right? Yes, I need to be at home every day, right? I love that, all right? So if I'm choosing a coach, I want to work with a coach that, for me, is living the way I want to live. So what that means for me is not so much fancy car or whatever that is, okay? That might be important to you. But what's more important to me is a wealthy strategy. If I want to be free, I want to know that my coach is free. All right. Now, people describe freedom in a lot of different ways. Some people say they're free, and free means they don't own their time. They have a business that they're running all over the place. Just know that whoever it is you're going to work with, however they make their money, is likely what they're going to teach you. Okay, what I'm interested in mostly are passive strategies to be able to monetize. I do travel, but traveling for me is, I built my business mostly from my home. My husband was on dialysis. I was here with my kids. I did most of my coaching calls in my pajamas, 9 o'clock at night. Almost all of my coaching calls, my clients will tell you, almost all my coaching calls are at 9 o'clock at night, except for any consults that I do, which are during the day, which are very few, small part of my profile, my client profile. Most of my coaching calls are group coaching programs, just how it is, all right? Optional traveling. I love it. I mean, it's just like the best for me. And if I'm going to travel, it's going to be worth my time, okay? It's going to be worth my time, all right? Is anyone on the scope right now in New York? Anybody on the scope in New York? Live in New York? Anybody in New York right now? On the scope New York? Okay. All right. So the next thing is stop trying to mentor yourself. Okay, you're in New York. Okay. Stop trying to mentor yourself. All right. And doesn't work. All right. The next is quit your emotional roller coaster. Your emotional roller coaster is you're in one day, you're hot one day, and you're cold the next day. You know what I mean? You're going to do everything tomorrow, and you do nothing the next day. So I prefer that you find a level of consistency that you can perform at every single day and just do that. Just stay consistent, in your business. And that's what I like to do. Stop trying to mentor yourself. Quit your emotional roller coaster. And while it sounds really simple, it's really what hangs most people up. It's like going to the gym, right? And I like to lift weights. So it's like going to the gym and lifting like crazy heavy weight, okay? And then you can't get out of the bed, brush your teeth the next day. You know what I mean? So therefore, you can't do anything for 2 or 3 days because you've just pushed yourself to a point of fatigue, right? So it's better to work you know, do your chest and your back and your arms, do your upper body, and then do your legs, right, the next day, so that you know, you're consistent, making important decisions based on how you feel versus what needs to be done. Absolutely. Absolutely, right? It's all about, you know, these things. Love ya. Good night. I have a couple of ideas I'll run by you, and we'll email tomorrow. Later. Thank you. I'll see you all later. Good night. All right. And the last is stop chasing people for approval, right? Or money. All right. So that's what we talked about. Don't chase people for approval or money, because it's inauthentic. All right. And you deserve more than that. All right. And people know it. All right. So I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist, and I support mostly moms with life and business success. You guys can always check me out at miaredrick.com. Hey, miaredrick.com, or my scope, or my past scopes at catch.me, and just search Mia_Redrick. And I had a good time tonight. So hopefully you can catch the replay if you missed it. If you guys still want to do my course, the next class is tomorrow. It's really good. How to leverage what you know and earn six figures. How to leverage what you know and earn six figures. It's an awesome 12-week course that I'm teaching, and the next class is on tomorrow night. And you'll see in my profile how you can register. I think it's miaredrick.com/3568/ Carol. Thank you so much for putting that there. Thank you so much for your help. I appreciate you so much. 3568. Or if you want to book me for a consult for Periscope, you can book a one-time consult, just one time, for $200 instead of $1,000 for 60-minute consult. So just saying. All right. So or if you need to email me and you're not sure how we can work together, you've got questions, Mia_Redrick at Finding Definitions is my personal email address. Now, if you're emailing me, it's because you're interested in coaching, because I don't do any free coaching, on those kind of emails. So if you're interested in figuring out, how we can work together, how I can support you, I'm happy to do that, right? Feel free to email me. Mia_Redrick at Finding Definitions. All right. So I'm ready to go check my basement to make sure no more water has come in. All right. And you guys know what it's like when you're trying to get water out of your basement, right? So it wasn't a whole lot, but it was enough to be irritating. We just had crazy rain in Maryland today, and we got a little leak in the basement. So there you go. Okay, I'm Mia Redrick. I've enjoyed sharing with you guys tonight, and I know, dry desert praying for you. Yeah, I know. We've had the craziest weather. Thank you guys so much for your time. I appreciate you all. Sleep tight, and don't let the bed bugs bite. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.